The 5 stages of grief are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance, and throughout the past several days I've experienced all 5 of these in light of the announcement that Destiny 2, as we know it, is ending. I'm still working on the acceptance side of things. I'm not there yet, and I don't think I ever will be able to fully accept the reality of the brutal mismanagement and lack of care for our beloved franchise. But it's true, on Tuesday the 9th of June 2026, Destiny 2 will receive its final live service update known as Monument of Triumph, bringing many much-needed changes to egregious developmental mistakes like the portal, additions like the 3 new light aspects, and the permanent return of Pantheon featuring sunset raid bosses from Destiny 2's past like Callus, Argos, and Galran that we know of so far. And the update itself sounds genuinely amazing. It just hurts so much knowing that it's the final one. So today I'm going to quickly go over my thoughts on this upsetting news and what it means for the channel going forward. Suffice it to say, I am incredibly upset by this revelation. I have personally been playing Destiny since around October of 2014, so I joined a little after launch of the original when I was 13 years old, and to cut a long story short, it has basically been the only game franchise I truly cared deeply about and had near infinite passion for. There were times like Curse of Osiris and Season of the Drifter where my continued playtime waned, but for the most part I've been there for everything, and in May of 2023, shortly after the release of Lightfall, I was able to begin turning the passion I had for this game into my full-time job as a content creator. And how far we've come in just 3 short years has been truly astonishing, and I cannot thank you enough for achieving what we have. And now that it's coming to an end soon, I just can't help but be upset. So much potential this game had, a near infinite number of possibilities that could have elevated the experience to entirely new heights, but instead Bungie, or rather Bungie's upper management, chose the single worst path. And usually I tend to refrain from this way of thinking, as longtime fans of the channel will know I strive to create a positive and constructive atmosphere around my content and personality, but I need to say this here and now. Management ruined Destiny 2. We've all heard the stories about Pete Parsons and his cars and so on, and it's just so evident that the sheer greed and contempt of the higher-ups was what ultimately led to the game's demise. And for that, I am angry. I'm angry that in order to upsell Bungie to Sony, they touted 5 or more incubation projects, the majority of which never saw the light of day, and the one that did, Marathon, well, we all know how that's going. I'm angry that Bungie seemingly never listened to loud player feedback about how the game wasn't going in the right direction and ignoring genuinely good ideas. And overall, I'm just angry thinking about what we could have had in an alternate timeline where the game was being overseen by people who actually cared. Rant over. I'm sure you've heard the same from many other creators by this point, but I just felt the need to express my feelings too. However, like I said, fans of the channel know that I don't typically go for the doomer responses and instead try to take the good with the bad. So what does that look like? Well, for starters, it seems the portal is being drastically sidelined in favor of what might be the most beautiful director screen I have ever laid eyes on. This is what truly makes Destiny, Destiny, and I'm super happy that even in its death, the game reflects perfectly what we all know it to be. The portal is quite literally a tiny diamond at the bottom of the page, something which, quite frankly, it always should have been. Following that, one of Destiny 2's greatest sins was the infamous content vaulting that occurred during Beyond Light, a move that swept away what felt like half of the game's content, including widely beloved raids. And with the reintroduction of Pantheon, it's been confirmed we are once again going to be able to fight Callus, Argos, and Galran again in all of their glory, undoing some, but not all, of the damage incurred all of those years ago. And through all the anger and sadness, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to play these amazing encounters again. Genuinely awesome stuff. There's also new aspects coming specifically to the light subclasses, which only had 3 available, those being Solar Hunter, Void Warlock, and Solar Titan. There's also a new Void Hunter melee, which is super cool, new Strand and Stasis grenades, and a heap of additional ability sandbox changes that have yet to be announced. Exotics are getting tier 5 treatment, every single raiden dungeon is getting a full loot refresh, including set bonuses being added to the armor. Gambit is being updated, also with a set bonus. Bloody patrols are being updated, also with new weapon collections and armor set bonuses. Onslaught is getting the Brave arsenal back from Into the Light as activity-specific drops. And oh my goodness, Sparrow Racing League is returning with all the bells and whistles from Destiny 1, like Sparrow horns, armor sets, weapons, new tracks, and so on. Like, do you not realize how amazing this update all sounds? It's just, man, why does it have to be the last? I'm now at the point where I'm still obviously very sad that the end times are here, but also I'm just very excited to give Destiny my all one final time. Because think about it this way, right? June 9th and the 2 or 3 weeks that follow will literally be the last time your friends, clanmates, and streamers you like will we'll be playing an unfathomable amount of Destiny 2. It's the last time we'll truly be able to feel the buzz around a new update launching, the intrigue that comes from discovering new builds with new powers, and the thrill of running difficult raid content. This is the last time for many of us, and I implore you to acknowledge that and make the absolute most out of these next few weeks. Savor them as best you can, because after the dust settles, that's it. So make it count and go out with a bang, which neatly brings me onto my next topic, me, or more specifically, what am I doing throughout all of this? Simply put, I'm going to be working as hard as I can to create the best Destiny 2 content possible that you've all come to know and love from the channel over these past few years we've been together. I intend to really give it one last hurrah and truly give it my all. On a more personal note, my ultimate goal with this YouTube channel was to one day reach 100,000 subscribers, and believe it or not, we're actually incredibly close, so I would seriously appreciate it if you could drop a subscription down below and help me reach this long-standing goal before the lights go out. Longer term, around mid-July to August and beyond, things will inevitably slow down for the channel. I have some ideas already about how I could leave things, perhaps make something like an ultimate beginner's guide and updated raid and dungeon guides for people to have as the most current form of information for when the game becomes more dormant. But I don't have all of this worked out yet. Just know that through most of June, it's business as usual, except it'll be the most passionate I will ever be, knowing that it's the last time I can be. Beyond the death of Destiny 2, of course, we are all hoping for a Destiny 3 someday, but the reality is that even if it were real, it's almost certainly years and years away, and we probably won't even hear about it until, I want to say, the start of the 2030s. And in 3 years from now, a lot can change in someone's life. I have no idea if I'll still be a creator by then. I might be, and I'll certainly try, but without Destiny at my side, it will never truly feel the same. I will likely be trying forms of variety content, either on this channel or a new one, or on my Twitch, though we are still early days on that front. For all I know, I could still be pumping out D2 content in 3 months' time purely because the June update is bringing that much material. And in all honesty, I would certainly like to, but we shall see. Also, I'd be silly not to mention that I am going to be attending this year's GCX event in Florida, running from the 24th to the 25th of July, so if you ever wanted to come say hi to me in person, that would be the perfect time. Plus, I'd obviously love to see as many of you as possible. Finally, it may not do anything to sway opinions, but as I mentioned in a previous Twitter post, the only chance we have for a Destiny 3 to be greenlit is to have as many people logging in on and through June 9th as possible to show the world just how much Destiny means to us all. And signing the change.org petition at the top of the description would also help. It currently has over 180,000 signatures, so time to make your move, Guardian. To summarize, I'm deeply saddened that it had to come to this, but at the same time, I acknowledge that Destiny 2 was on its way out one way or another. I just didn't want it to happen so soon, and I wasn't ready. People often like to say, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. However, I say, do both. Hell, even I cried on stream in front of 500 people, and if you love this game just as much as I do, let the world know, man. Show up on June 9th, have some fun with friends, both old and new, and make some memories one final time. Reflect and reminisce on the good times, and keep your eyes up. Feel free to share your best memories from Destiny down in the comments, and for my final message, we're not done yet, and I'm not going anywhere. June is going to be possibly the greatest opportunity to celebrate exactly how much Destiny means to us all, and I hope to see you there with me. Anyway, that's all for today. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now, dear viewer.